Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, your favorite weekly news program on science, technology, invention and innovation. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Today we will tell you all about the Indian research that has helped unravel the secrets of the formation of dwarf galaxies and introduce you to the winners of the DD Robocon 2022 held recently. There will be lots more science news, but let's begin with the headlines. AstroSat helps reveal the secret of the formation of dwarf galaxies. New study led by Indian researchers from the Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics. DD Robocon 2022 concluded successfully. Winner will compete with teams from 12 countries in an international competition being held in India on August 21, 2022. Commemorating the innovations that have strengthened the innovation ecosystem of the country since independence, we salute the ideas and policies that have shaped India under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And a glimpse of the Swachh Sagar Surakshit Sagar campaign of the Ministry of Earth Sciences. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 beaches of the country are being cleaned over 75 days. And now the news in detail. Researchers are witnessing the formation of dwarf galaxies using India's first dedicated multi-wavelength space telescope, AstroSat. In a recent study, scientists have found that the star-forming clusters in the outer region of dwarf galaxies migrate towards the central region of the galaxy and increase its mass and brightness. The discovery was made by an international research team led by the Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics. Here is a Science Monitor report.
Galaxies filled with billions of stars form the infinite limits of our universe. These galaxies hide secrets of the creation of the entire universe. The more information we find about these galaxies of different sizes, the more our curiosity grows. Our Milky Way galaxy is just one of the many giant galaxies that exist. The Milky Way galaxy is surrounded by about 10 dwarf galaxies, which often see stars being formed. However, the process of how these dwarf galaxies accumulate stars and then develop into new galaxies is still an enigma. Scientists are constantly working on unraveling these mysteries. Recently, a research team studying India's first dedicated multi-wavelength space observatory, AstroSat, succeeded in recording the star formation activities of dwarf galaxies. The discovery was made at the Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics in Pune by an international team led by Professor Dr. Kanak Saha and Anshuman Borgohain, a research student at Tezpur University, in collaboration with astronomers from the US and France.
Using AstroSat, we have discovered young star-forming complexes outside the boundary of this low-mass galaxy, dwarf galaxies. And we also calculate the time scale required by these young star-forming complexes to migrate from outside to inside. And we found that using theoretical calculation and using the observed data, we found this time scale is shorter than the galaxy's lifetime, and which is probably how these small galaxies grow.
AstroSat is India's first astronomical research telescope, which was launched by ISRO in September 2015. The telescope is capable of observing the universe in the optical, ultraviolet, low and high energy X-ray regions of the electromagnetic spectrum. All major astronomy institutes of the world and several Indian universities take advantage of the observations recorded by AstroSat. Astronomers using AstroSat's ultraviolet imaging telescope have detected dim ultraviolet light emissions from the outer region of 12 dwarf galaxies between 1.5 and 3.9 billion light-years away. The findings suggest that existing young stars are not more than 150 million years old and whose formation is now visible on the outer surface of these galaxies. AstroSat has also observed that star-forming clusters in the outer region of these dwarf galaxies migrate towards the central region of the galaxy and contribute to the galaxy's mass and luminosity.
AstroSat's UVIT has been a remarkable ultraviolet instrument. It's large-scale, deep and high-resolution ultraviolet imaging capabilities that makes it stand out amongst other ultraviolet observatories. And we were also surprised with the commendable sensitivity in an earlier work when UVIT was able to detect a very faint ultraviolet source which the Hubble Space Telescope couldn't. So we are thankful to ISRO and collaborators for such a terrific instrument.
The recording of this conjunction in dwarf galaxies is of great importance, as it provides a crucial link to the understanding of the origin and evolution of galaxies. The study, led by Indian researchers at an Indian observatory, has been published in the international research journal Nature.
DD Robocon 2022 was organized in New Delhi recently. 43 teams were shortlisted for this two-day inter-institutional competition conducted in collaboration with IIT Delhi and Prasar Bharati. The competition was held offline after 2 years because of the corona pandemic and saw the participation of around 750 people. Here is our report on the two-day competition.
Two years since the beginning of the corona pandemic, the masters of robotics once again gathered under one roof. The occasion was the Doordarshan Robocon 2022, organized on the 16th and 17th of July 2022 at Tyagraj Stadium, New Delhi. Teams from various educational institutions across the country participated in the competition organized jointly by IIT Delhi and Prasar Bharati. Out of the 80+ teams from engineering institutes that registered for the event, 43 were shortlisted for DD Robocon 2022. The theme of this year's Robocon was Lagori, a traditional Indian game that originated in South India. A very popular game until the 1990s, it involves the destruction of a lagori using a ball and then its rebuilding by placing stones on top of each other. Meanwhile, the opposition team tries to hit the opponents with the ball. The team completing the task first wins. At Robocon, the game was played by robots. Various teams participated enthusiastically in this year's competition that saw robots designed by engineering students playing Lagori. As part of the competition, one team after another fought to complete the task using their robots. However, only the teams completing the task within the time limit were allowed to move forward. The final of DD Robocon 2022 was played between the Nirma University of Technology, Ahmedabad and the Government College of Engineering and Research, Pune.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the finals!
The Nirma University had the first go and they completed the task of breaking the lagori in the very first shot within the specified time of 45 seconds. The team also achieved the 45-second task of ball hitting.
Best score ever!
Then it was the turn of the GCER Pune team who missed completing the ball hitting task in the prescribed time.
First shot goes low and the second one connects well.
Enthused by this victory, the team from Nirma University got the opportunity to pile up the Lagori within 45 seconds. And with encouragement from the supporters, the robot of the Nirma team completed the task in time, winning the final of the DD Robocon 2022.
Will that stay on top? There's still 3 seconds. 2-0.
Finals of DD Robocon 2022. The winner team will represent India in Robocon International. Government College of Engineering from Avsari scored 55 points, whereas Institute of Technology, Nirma University from Ahmedabad scored 65 points. So the winner of DD Robocon 2022 is Institute of Technology, Nirma University. Congratulations to Nirma University.
This two-day event was successfully conducted by a team of more than 150 professors, technical staff and students. After the winning celebrations, prizes were distributed to the participating teams, including prizes for the best performing robots and the people who conducted the event. DD Robocon 2022 was a successful demonstration of the innovative thinking of Indian youth. The champions, the Nirma University Ahmedabad team, will now represent India in the international competition to be held on 21st of August 2022.
To all of you, we would like to make a couple of offers. The first is, we are going to start a new master's program in robotics soon, and I hope we will see many of you here at IIT Delhi. We also have, Professor Saha would have told you about it, we have an India hub for cobotics, and those of you who want to take your ideas forward and want to run with your ideas and want to innovate and start up new companies, please talk to us. We will provide you the platform.
Robocon was started by ABU Asia Pacific Broadcasting Union with the aim of encouraging innovative ideas in the field of robotics. Under this event, winners of national competitions participate in the international competition, which is hosted by one of the member countries.
Leading innovations have played an important role in India's development and its road towards self-reliance over the last 75 years. The vision and thought process of the country's leaders to take India forward on this path has made the journey easier. Under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we at Science Monitor are commemorating important innovations and policies related to science and technology. Here is our continuing coverage of the important milestones of India's innovation ecosystem.
In the year 1963, India got its biggest gift of the time in the form of the Bhakra Nangal Dam. It was the second largest dam in Asia. The construction of such a huge dam, that too just 16 years after independence, was a significant achievement for our country. The construction of this dam on the Satluj River in Bilaspur began in 1948, with the country's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru laying its foundation stone. It was designated as New Temple of Resurgent India. The dam is 518.25 meters long and 9.1 meters wide, with the Govind Sagar Reservoir, which can store about 9.34 billion cubic meters of water. The construction of this dam helped India become self-sufficient in its requirements of irrigation and electricity generation. After independence, India was rapidly taking decisions to fulfill its goal of development in every field. One important decision was the establishment of the Indian Institute of Management (IIM) as a beacon of higher education. On the recommendation of the Planning Commission of India, the first Indian Institute of Management was established in Calcutta, now Kolkata, in 1961. A second IIM was established in Ahmedabad in the same year. The objective of the IIMs was to provide quality education in undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral and executive programs in the field of management to generations of Indian youth. Today, 20 Indian Institutes of Management have been established all over the country, which are well known not only within India but also across the world. The Green Revolution has played an important role in making India self-reliant in the field of food production. In 1960, the M.S. Swaminathan Committee was constituted by the then Government of India at the behest of then Agriculture and Food Minister Babu Jagjeevan Ram. The work done by the committee earned Swaminathan the moniker Father of Green Revolution in India. Implementation of the recommendations made by the committee brought about a major change in the country's agriculture sector. As part of the recommendations, emphasis was laid on promotion of agricultural research, the establishment of agricultural centers, use of fertilizers, change in farming patterns and methods, use of new technology, among other things. These changes started yielding amazing results in a very short span of time. And it is this unexpected progress that is known as the Green Revolution. On the 15th of September 1959, the country's first TV channel was launched in association with All India Radio under the name Television India. The channel was broadcast thrice a week for half an hour each. In the beginning, only educational and informative programs for school children and farmers were broadcast on the channel. In 1965, a daily broadcast was started, and the year also saw a 5-minute news bulletin being telecast. In 1975, satellite instructional television experiment was started in 6 states, under which community televisions were installed for the public in the states. In the same year, this experiment was named Doordarshan. Doordarshan became a separate entity independent of All India Radio in 1976.
The Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India has launched the Swachh Sagar Surakshit Sagar campaign. The campaign, which runs from July 5 to September 17, is part of the celebrations of 75 years of India's independence under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and involves the cleaning of 75 beaches of the country over 75 days. We present to you a glimpse of the activities organized under this campaign over the last few days. And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
10 communication satellites operating in the Earth's orbit have been transferred by the Government of India to New India Space Limited, a public sector enterprise under the Department of Space. This information was shared by the Minister of Science and Technology, Earth Sciences and Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh, in reply to a question in the Lok Sabha. The transfer of these satellites is part of space sector reforms aimed at strengthening the role of New Space India Limited to increase the country's share in the global space economy. The Union Minister said that the Government of India took several steps in 2020 through reforms that seek to increase the participation of the private sector in the space sector. The Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, IN-SPACE, has been created as a single window agency to control and authorize activities in this area. This effort will provide equal opportunities to private companies in the Indian space sector. A study conducted by researchers from the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Bhopal, has presented a new theory to contrast the effects of global warming on glaciers. Researchers have made a significant breakthrough in solving the mystery of why parts of glaciers in the Karakoram Range are resisting glacial melt due to global warming. They have found that some glaciers in the region are not affected by global warming and are not changing much. Researchers have attributed this phenomenon called Karakoram anomaly to the recent revival of the Western disturbances. This study was supported by the Climate Change Program of the Department of Science and Technology. Scientists' calculations show that the contribution of Western disturbances to the amount of snow in the main glacier areas of the Karakoram Range has increased by about 27% in the recent decades, whereas the precipitation received from the non-Western disturbance sources has significantly decreased by around 17%, further strengthening their claims. The Union Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh, recently released India's Bioeconomy Report 2022. He said that India's bioeconomy, which stood at $80 billion in 2021, will touch the $300 billion mark by 2030. The Union Minister also announced financial support of Rs 50 lakhs each to 25 startups and entrepreneurs from India's northeast region to develop biotech solutions. India ranks among the top 3 in South Asia and the top 12 in biotechnology across the world, and accounts for about 3% of the global biotechnology industry. Dr. Jitendra Singh also talked about biopharma companies supported by the Department of Biotechnology and BIRAC with risk funding of about $71 million for the development and manufacturing of COVID vaccines. Indian students have won several gold, silver and bronze medals in this year's International Olympiad. The medals have come in the Olympiads in mathematics, physics, biology and chemistry held over the last 2 weeks. One student each won a gold medal in the mathematics, physics and biology Olympiads, while the other team members won silver and bronze medals. Pranjal Srivastav won the gold medal in Mathematics Olympiad and the remaining 5 people won bronze medals. Divyanshu Malu won the gold medal and 4 others in the participating team won silver medals in the Physics Olympiad. More than 350 students from 75 countries participated in the event, where India was jointly ranked 11th along with Singapore and Kazakhstan. Indian students won 1 gold and 3 silver medals in the Biology Olympiad, which saw the participation of 62 countries. In the Chemistry Olympiad, in which 83 countries participated, India won 4 silver medals.
That is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. Keep sending your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is indiascience@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, A50, Sector 62, Noida, 201309, Uttar Pradesh. So we will take your leave now. See you again next week. Till then, stay safe and think scientifically. Bye for now.